All right, so now we're moving on to 7-113. So let's see. Again, remember you want to make sure you attempted first and you're using this video as a way to check. So let's look at A first, okay? Now we've got two middle schools. We've got Lakeside and we've got Xavier. Keep in mind that what we want to know is the number of students that attend Xavier. That is what we're trying to figure out. Okay, A tells us that we have to define a variable using a let statement. So you want to say, for the first part of A, you would probably say something like this. Let x would be the variable I would use since we're talking about Xavier Middle School. You want to say let x represent number of students at Xavier's, probably the first part of A, because you always want to let people know that from now on in this problem you're going to be using this variable x, so you want to let that be known that x represents the number of students at Xavier. Okay, so that's the first part for A. Then what it's going to ask you to do is write an algebraic expression for the number of students at Xavier. Okay, and we know that it's 57 fewer, right? So our expression is going to be x, right, which is the number of students at Xavier. Fewer is going to tell us subtraction, right? So our algebraic expression for the number is going to be x minus 57. All right, and let's go to B now. B is going to ask us, so it tells us some more information now that the number of students at Lakeside is 403, right? So we want to use that expression to write an equation for the number of students at Xavier Middle School. So we'll use what we had before, right? This time it's telling us, hey, the number of students at Lakeside is 403. Since you know it's an equation, right, you can put an equal sign in there now, and it's going to be x minus 57, right? So the number of students at Lakeside is the number at Xavier minus that 57. Moving on to C. If you think back to the problem you did before, right, you can use an inverse to answer. So if you, again, set up your expression, your equation, right, you've got x minus 57. That's going to equal 403. This time what we've got, our operation is subtraction. So you're just going to solve by doing the opposite, which in this case is addition. So we'll add that 57 over here. Should give us 460. So we can simply just bring this x down and we say x equals 460. So now we know there's 460 students that attend Xavier Middle School. It wants you to write it in a complete sentence. I'm going to let you do that part on your own, right, in your notebook or wherever you're doing your work. And then finally, D is going to look like this. We want to use our equation to show that 550 doesn't work. So if we go back, right, to our last one here, our equation is x equals 460, right? So we want to go back now here. We're just showing that since x equals 460, the number of students can't be 550. So you can't say this. 550 equals 460. We know that doesn't work, right? So you're proving that x cannot be 550. That doesn't work at all. All right, you can test two, it asks you to test two other values, so you can just, any number that isn't 460, right? So you could say 1,000 cannot be the number of students. That doesn't work either. Right, and let's say I want to do one more, I don't know, 25. does not equal 460 either, right? So any values are just showing that the only answer that can work is 460 because we're using an equal sign. It's an equation. It has to be equal on both sides. Okay, so hopefully this is something that hopefully will make sure that this works. Use these to test your answers. Tomorrow, when you log on, be prepared with homework as well. Okay, and today, when you log on to one of the 2 Zoom sessions, bring questions you have about how this worked for you,